we're going to talk a little bit about the growth of Euharlee. A lot of people online's been talking about the growth of Euharlee, what the plans are. Let's talk about downtown first. Downtown is mostly historic, not a lot of room for commercial growth. So tell me what you guys are planning, what you've done, and what you're planning on doing downtown.
Well, in the last few years, we've had a couple of businesses come in. Drown Valley has put their second location in. Nico's Pizza has put a second location in Euharlee, both of which are doing well. There's some other spots in the historic area, but there's also out on Euharlee Road, there's other spots for commercial as well. We have a downtown development authority that is going to be helping us make recommendations to the city council to see if there's any other businesses that would work out or be Euharlee, if you will, to add to our mystique. We have a wonderful history, but we also have an extremely bright future.
Now, I know last year, and this just popped to my head about the commissary, about somebody moving into there.
There has been a lot of debate on that. The commissary for years has been a place where people could rent to have birthday parties or family get-togethers or weddings, things like that. So the DDA has recommended that we at least put that on the market or look at a possible commercial site. There's some pros and cons both ways. We do have other facilities that we can still rent out for birthday parties and things like that. But the commissary is still being looked at for a few different options for citizens or for commercial renovation.
And now the park, which we're sitting kind of to the side of or in front of, that is kind of become the cornerstone, the center of downtown because of Food Truck Fridays and all that. Is that correct?
That's correct. Osborne Park redevelopment at the time when we, several years ago, when the city council, even the one before me, set up Joe Cowan Park, it created a duplication of services. So we were looking at other options, and this park, the renovation of Osborne Park, has been extremely special. The fact that we have an outdoor amphitheater, which is unique to this area of Bartow right now. I think there's some other plans possibly for some other cities or even the county to do that. But we have a beautiful amphitheater that will hold over 1,000 people. We've had over 1,000 at two different events we've had. A couple of large playgrounds for kids, a dog park. So the redevelopment of Osborne Park has become a nice feather in the cap of the city.
And now there's also online a little bit of discussion, I would say, about a lot of people don't really like the way Euharlee is going as far as development. They like it more rural, and they like the farmlands. And then there's people, of course, moving from Atlanta out this way, and that's somewhat controversial in the terms of culture and, I guess, tourism. So talk a little bit about how the city is balancing that and where the city's going in terms of all that.
Well, we still feel very rural out here, but we wanted some things where you could go to dinner without having to get in the car and go to downtown Cartersville or Rockmart or anything like that. So we've got a couple of options now with that, which has been extremely nice. I'm born and raised in Bartow County, 54 years here, and Donna and I moved to Euharlee 25 years ago. So it has changed some, but it's still, to me, it still feels rural and a place that I'm excited that I got to raise my children here, and it would tickle me if my grandchildren were raised here.
Let's talk about going toward Euharlee Road, going toward Rome. I know that there's a little bit of confusion about subdivisions and what the city's approved, what's in the county. People just see a lot of subdivisions being built. Can you care to speak to that?
Sure. There's two going westerly. You got one on the left, which is a small subdivision. It's actually a planned urban development because it backs up to, and you can enter Joe Cowan Park through the back side of that subdivision. And what we really would have loved to have had and tried to get was a 55 and older community. We thought it was a good location, between the two major hospitals, one in Rome, one here in Cartersville, of course. But it didn't work out that way. So those lots are a little bit smaller than what we normally have in Euharlee. Our minimum lot size on sewer is 10,000 square feet, where Bartow County, the other cities, Cartersville, Emerson, are 7,000. So we wanted something out here that kept a little more rural feel, a little more uniquely Euharlee. So the one across the Euharlee Road on the right is also inside the city limits. I think it's called Heritage Farms, and it's planned at, I think it's 300 homes. So from 2000 until 2024, I believe it was, we did about 3% growth total in new homes as Shaw Woods each phase came online. These other two, one smaller, one kind of medium size, are probably going to bring us 2 to 3% growth per year for the next 8 to 10 years, I would say. And we think that's a manageable growth rate, but we don't have, inside the city, we don't have any other planned subdivisions as of right now.
Let's talk about going the other way toward Anna's. People, I think, are a little confused about what's in the city, what's in the county, and you explained where the county city line is. So what's going across the street from Anna's, and that's actually in the county?
Right there where you see a lot of construction right now is I don't remember exactly the number of homes, and I wish I did. It's a small subdivision, but it's actually inside of Bartow County. The city of Euharlee had nothing to do with approving that, couldn't disapprove it or approve it. I think those are 7,000 square foot lots, so they're a little smaller than what we normally have in Euharlee. But that on the left side is as you're leaving town, what's on the left side is part of Bartow County. On the right side, you're going to probably start seeing some construction on a doggy daycare, if you will. That's going to be on the right side of the road that is inside the city. So it's kind of a wonky city limits line there.
Okay. Now, also people get confused going a little bit further up where AutoZone is. They think that's in the city, probably because the name of Euharlee Animal Clinic that's there. But
and the fact that it's on Euharlee Road.
And the fact it's on Euharlee Road. Now, there have been a lot of rumors about what else is going there. Waffle House, Food City, anything confirmed?
Well, the Waffle House, I believe, is supposed to start groundbreaking and building in March. So, just a few days away, we'll already be in March, which is unbelievable. But I believe I was told that there is obviously the Waffle House, a liquor store, a orthodontist, I believe it was, and then the Food City that's still planning to build there as well.
And we're going to talk about effects on the city and that in a second, but I got one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
The data center, which they took the proposal off the table, there's rumors that they're asking the city of Euharlee to annex that land in so you guys can approve it.
Now, see, that's right across the street from there, so you're probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from the city. That's a long way to annex, so I don't know if that's a possibility. It'd be neat if it is. There's a lot of controversy out there for data centers, and to be honest with you, when we were first asked by one of our citizens to comment on that, when the county was looking at it, this was probably the end of December, the 1st of January, I had no knowledge of what data centers were. So I've been going to what I consider data center college for the last couple of months. I've been taking Data Center 101, Data Center 102 to learn as much as I can about them, but there's not an opportunity like that as of right now that I'm aware of.
Okay. Now, this kind of a general question. It's kind of a two-parter. We'll ask the first question.
Sure.
This whole area is kind of becoming a corridor, so to speak, for development, especially going from up there and then the subdivisions and through here. How do you see all of that construction, and even a little further up into Cartersville, there's more construction. I notice there's 58 acres that's just been under contract now.
Right.
So how does all that affect the city of Euharlee and particularly travel on Euharlee Road through Euharlee?
There's going to be increased traffic. I mean, you go from no subdivision in a spot to a small or a medium-sized subdivision, that you're going to have traffic. There's no way around that. The last traffic study that I saw, which was related to our bridge, which we're going to be, I believe the DOT is going to be getting underway end of this year, early next year, to replace Euharlee Bridge. But the actual traffic study shows that Euharlee Road is not even at 50% capacity. So I mean, there's been rumors for years upon years about the possibility of widening Euharlee Road. According to the DOT, that is not on their radar in the near future anyway.
And you mentioned the second part, which kind of gets to my second part of my question, is the bridge. Is Euharlee working with the DOT on when, because that's going to cause, when they do start construction, that's going to cause a little bit of havoc, particularly in school mornings and such as that?
We've been talking to them for years about that, because originally they were talking about closing one lane and we didn't think that was going to be advantageous for the city or for the workers. And the last note that I got from them, they were going to be building a separate bridge to the side, which should allow for traffic flow to continue normal as the construction's going on. It's going to have 2 lanes that are wider than the ones now, plus a bike lane, plus a pedestrian lane, which currently, as you know, is illegal to walk across the Euharlee Bridge, although people do it. But it's very dangerous to do so. So this new bridge is going to be wider for cars, which is going to be safer. Also, it's going to have the bike and a pedestrian lane, which is going to be a lot safer. We're excited about the construction of that, and it can't come soon enough, quite frankly.
Okay, well, that's it. Thank you very much.